Welcome to another episode of College Football Special. It's been a while. Glad to see you and glad you're tuning into this. Start things off, let's get into this quickly. Ugly results of the week. Northern Illinois beat Toledo 32-27, which really, Toledo's been kind of playing rough as it is. Ellie for Toledo was 15 of 33, 136 yards, and a touchdown and 2 interceptions. I'm sorry, Toledo fans. Shout out to the MAC. Let's get to our next game. Get past that abysmal performance. Oklahoma State whooped up on TCU. This is an ugly result for TCU. They lost 49-29. There was 663 total yards for TCU, and it got them nowhere. They moved the ball. Oklahoma State's defense was a bend but don't break. I couldn't tell if it was orange or black or green and yellow out there, to be perfectly honest. Oklahoma State was playing like some old Duck squads. But anyway, TCU, 663 total yards. They really did all they could. They just couldn't convert. And they had turnovers. So it's not a lot you can do on that. Another ugly result, and my final ugly result for this past week, Florida beats Vanderbilt 9-7. And I say it's ugly because it was low scoring. McCrary was 3 of 14 passing, 30 yards. Really? Wow. People actually wanted to watch this game? Hi. Anyway, let's move past the ugly results. Let's go to the big wins of this past week. So, big wins. Navy beat Memphis 45-20, and what I said was going to be a big game last week when I did my episode, it turned out to be a big game. Navy's triple option was playing well. Swain had 18 carries for 108 yards and 3 touchdowns, which was great. Sadly, Navy's quarterback didn't set the all-time scoring record this past week. However, look for him to set that in the coming weeks as well. Also a big win, Nebraska, after having so many close losses, they beat Michigan State 39-38. And they finally turned around a close loss into a close win. Western Comp, I believe is how you say his name. I'm terrible with names, but he had 9 receptions, 143 yards, and a touchdown. Great for Nebraska. Hopefully Nebraska can turn around, possibly get bowl eligible here. Mike Riley's a good guy. We'd like to see that. On to our next game, which was a big matchup, and I said I was not going to call it as one of my games to watch, but it ended up being, well, it ended up being an Alabama rout, which was kind of surprising. Alabama beats LSU 30-16. Henry for Alabama, 38 carries, 210 yards, and 3 touchdowns. It was impressive for him. Honestly, I was expecting more out of Fournette this game for LSU, and it didn't happen. So LSU got dropped a bit. Alabama proved themselves to be a top 4 contender this season. So, looking at my top 10, however, my top 10 differs from the committees and such. As usual, I still have Ohio State at 1. I have Baylor at 2. I have Clemson at 3. Oklahoma State at 4 after whooping up on TCU. Notre Dame at 5. Iowa at 6. Stanford at 7. Alabama at 8. Utah at 9. And still have Florida at 10. Florida really needs to prove some things, but we're just running out of teams to put in this top 10. But anyways, let's look at our games to watch for this next week. So, on CBS at 12:30 Pacific Time, we have Alabama and Mississippi State. Zach Prescott has been impressive for Mississippi State, also has been very efficient. I expect Alabama to win this game, but look for it to be close, and always great to see Zach Prescott play well if he gets the opportunity. Our next game, Houston at Memphis. Undefeated Houston playing a Memphis team that just lost to Navy. That's on ESPN2 at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Definitely check this out. Our next game, ABC will be playing at 5 o'clock at Baylor in Oklahoma. This is a big matchup. Baylor, obviously, in most people's top 4, even though they've been kind of left out here and there. And if they beat Oklahoma, there's really not a lot people can say, and they have to put them up there. But Oklahoma is looking to possibly put their name in the mix, get themselves into the top 10, because they still have a strong schedule left. They still have to play Oklahoma State. So definitely watch this game. So let's go into our sneaky good games for this coming week. We have Oregon, Stanford on Fox at 4:30 Pacific time. I say it's a sneaky good game because I think it's going to be high scoring. I kind of expect Stanford to win this, even as a Duck fan. But Vernon Adams has been playing great, at least recently. And our defense has been playing better. They're still abysmal, but they've been playing better. Adding Charles Nelson to that defensive backfield has really, really helped. On ESPN 3, we have at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, NC State playing Florida State. NC State has been playing some underrated football this year. Expect them to give Florida State all they can handle after Florida State lost to Clemson last week. On ESPN at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, Oklahoma State plays Iowa State. Now, if you remember a couple years ago, Oklahoma State went into Iowa State on a Thursday night, and Iowa State knocked them around a bit. And that knocked Oklahoma State out of a chance for the national title game. Some signs of Brandon Weeden. Anyway, watch this game. It's going to be good. I think it's either going to be good or Oklahoma State's going to blow them out. But sneaky good possibility. Anyway, you've been watching the College Football Special. Thank you for watching. We're starting to wind down here at the end of the season. But we got some good games coming up, guys. So definitely watch. Thank you for watching the video. You can like it. You can subscribe to my channel, The Analyst 32, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Analyst 32 as well. And watch some football. Have a great weekend.